A very good afternoon to everyone. Welcome back to Civics second year class. So today we will discuss a new chapter. Yesterday we have discussed 9th chapter, that is Emergence of Telangana. Okay, we have discussed Emergence of Telangana. In first class, we have discussed the first chapter. We have discussed the first chapter. The weightage for your first chapter was 19 marks. Then yesterday we discussed Emergence of Telangana. Weightage for that chapter was 26 marks. And today we will discuss another important chapter, your 7th chapter. Okay, your 7th chapter. Election system in India. Okay, your 7th chapter is election system in India. Okay, if you see the weightage for this chapter, you will get 1 LAQ, 1 SAQ, and 2 VSAQs from this chapter. So again, the weightage is 19 marks. So for students who couldn't clear their second year paper, civics paper, if you are learning, chapter 7, chapter 9, and chapter 1. Okay, chapter 9 has got weightage of 26 marks. Chapter 1 has weightage of 19 marks. Okay, so if you are thorough with these 3 chapters, you can attempt maximum paper. You will be able to attempt 3 LAQs. You will be able to attempt 3 SAQs. So 45 marks there, and around 8 VSAQs. So please work on the weightage of the chapter. Learn the chapter completely. This is very important. So let us start with your 7th chapter, that is election system in India. The important questions are composition and powers and functions of election commission and features of Indian political party system. These are 2 LAQs. And coming to short answers, you have anti-defection law and model code of conduct. Okay, anti-defection law and model code of conduct. These are SAQs. Then coming to VSAQs, you have only 5 VSAQs. That is, when is National Voters Day observed? What are EVMs, electronic voting machines? What do you mean by psephology? What are poll surveys? And what is EPIC? EPIC means electoral photo identity card. Sometimes they'll ask you what is EPIC, or they'll ask you full form, that is electoral photo identity card. So these are the important questions from this chapter. So let us quickly start with the first LAQ, that is powers and functions of election commission. Okay. See, in democratic countries, it is through elections people will elect their representatives. Okay, so India is a democratic country. Okay, so for free and fair election, the Constitution has provided for election commission. So this election commission, it is responsible for conducting free, fair and impartial elections. Okay, for working of the democracy, for the success of democracy, the elections should be free, fair and impartial. So for this, we have election commission. Okay, this election commission, it is appointed by the President of India. The President of India will appoint the election commission. Now, this election commission, it consists of Chief Election Commissioner. It consists of Chief Election Commissioner and 2 election commissioners. So totally, if you see, there are 3 members. Okay, if required, President can appoint more commissioners, but basically it will have one chief election commissioner and 2 other election commissioners. So Rajiv Kumar, he is the present. Rajiv Kumar, he is the present chief election commissioner. He was appointed in May 2022. So what is the tenure of election commission? For how long he can be the commissioner, chief election commissioner? His tenure is 6 years. Okay, the normal tenure of an election commissioner is 6 years, or until he 65 years of age. Okay, 65 years of age, whichever is coming first. If he is completing 6 years, the new election commissioner will be appointed, new chief election commissioner will be appointed, or before completing 6 years, if he is attaining the age of 65 years, a new election commissioner will be appointed. So this election commission, it is appointed by the president. It consists of 3 members, that is 1 chief election commissioner and 2 other commissioners. All of them, they are appointed by the president. And the number of commissioners, it is decided by the president. The president of India will decide how many commissioners should be there in the election commission from time to time. Okay, I hope I'm clear with this introduction of election commission. See, it is the responsibility of election commission to conduct the elections in free, fair and impartial manner. Then only we can say that the democracy is successful. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. Let us see the powers and functions of election commission. What is the power of election commission? What does they do? They recognize different political parties at different level. That is, they classify the political parties as national party, regional parties and sub-regional party. They identify the political parties as national, regional and sub-regional. And they also allot symbols to these political parties. See, every political party has got its own symbol. So these symbols are allotted by the election commission. The election commission identifies the parties, whether it is a national party, whether it is a regional party or a sub-regional party. Now, recently, Aam Aadmi Party was identified as a national party. Okay, so this election commission, it will allot the symbols to the political parties. I hope I'm clear with the first point. Let us move to the next point. Then this election commission, it will prepare the electoral rolls. Okay, that means it will, add the names of the people who have attained the age of 18 years. Okay, they will prepare an electoral list. Okay, whoever has attained the age of 18 years, their names are added in the list. And the people who have passed away, who died, their names are deleted from the list. So the election commission will prepare the electoral rolls. They will add the names of the new voters and they will delete the names of the voters who are no more, or who have passed away. The next, it gives the election schedule with proper dates. The election commission will prepare a complete schedule for the elections, right from the date of filing the nomination, then the date of election, then the date of declaration of the results. All that schedule is prepared by the election commission. Okay, then it also prepares the model code of conduct, which has to be followed by political parties and the candidates who are contesting. So what is this model code of conduct? Model code of conduct, they are the guidelines, you can say they are the instructions, you can say, to the political parties and the candidates, what they should do and what they should not do during elections. During elections, they have to follow some guidelines. So those guidelines are called as Model Code of Conduct. Okay. So quickly we will revise this 4 points. Then we'll move to the next point. What is the main function of Election Commission? It will identify the political parties as national, regional or sub-regional. Then it will allot the symbols to the political parties. Then it will prepare the electoral rolls. Okay, they'll add the names of the new voters and they will delete the names of the voters who are no more. Then it will prepare a proper schedule of elections. Okay, then it will also prepare Model Code of Conduct. This Model Code of Conduct, it is the guidelines or the instructions given to the political parties. Okay, it consists of do's and don'ts. What they should do during election and what they should not do during the elections. That is called as Model Code of Conduct. We'll discuss this Model Code of Conduct for 5 marks and again for 2 marks also. Then it supervises the machinery of the election with the help of other departments. Okay, like, police department, all the departments, they work together for conducting the elections smoothly. So that is supervised by the Election Commission. Okay. They will appoint the returning officers, polling booth officers, okay, security personnel. Okay, so with the help of other departments, they'll conduct the elections. They'll supervise the elections. If there is any rigging, violence or malpractice, okay, if there is any violence, malpractice or rigging in any of the polling booth, the Election Commission has the right to cancel or postpone the elections. Okay, if there is any malpractice, any violence in any polling booth, then they can cancel or postpone the elections of that particular constituency or the polling booth. Okay, then it advises the President of India in case of elections of legislatures, that is members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, or the governor in case of members of state legislatures. Okay, any matter relating to the disqualification. Okay, why a particular legislature is disqualified. Okay, that is, they have to advise to the President. Okay, so the Election Commission, it will advise the President or the governor of a respective state on the matters relating to disqualification of a legislator. That is member of parliament or the member of assembly. If they are disqualified, why they are disqualified? If a member of parliament is disqualified, then President will get the information. If the member of assembly or council is disqualified, then it is the governor of that particular state. Okay, then what elections do they conduct? Okay, the Election Commission, it conducts the general elections every 5 years. Okay, we vote for the government. So general elections are conducted by the Election Commission. Then by-elections. So what are these by-elections? Okay, if any member resigns, if any legislature resigns, or if he dies, or if he is removed, if that seat is vacant, that the seat has to be filled. So for that particular seat, they'll conduct by-elections. Okay, general elections, it is every 5 years. By-elections, it is in the event of vacancy to the seat for Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, legislative assemblies and legislative council. Okay, it will conduct the elections for parliament as well as for the state legislatures, and it will also conduct elections for the office of President of India and the Vice President. Okay, they will prepare the schedule for the election of President and Vice President, and they'll conduct the elections. So Election Commission, basically it will conduct all the general elections throughout the country. Okay, if it is a general election for the union government, then general elections in a particular state, or by-elections in the event of any seat being vacant for Legislative Assembly, Legislative Council, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay. And they also conduct election for the President and Vice President of India. I hope I'm clear with this. It is very easy chapter, ma. If you are able to understand, you will be able to score marks in this chapter. And you will get one LAQ for sure from this chapter. Now, next is Election Commission. It appoints all the election personals like observers. These observers will observe the political parties, the candidates, how they are campaigning. Okay, then they also appoint expenditure observers. Okay, expenditure observers. Observers, they'll just observe the candidates and political parties, how they are campaigning. Are they disturbing the daily, life of the people? Expenditure observers, they will observe like how much a political party is spending. Election Commission will fix a limit. Okay, so this expenditure observer will report to the Election Commission if the expenditure is, exceeding the prescribed limit. Then they'll appoint the returning officers to the polling booth, assistant returning officers, other polling officials, okay, for conducting the elections. And they also take the services of police and security forces to conduct elections in a peaceful manner. And if there is any dispute related to the elections, Election Commission will appoint election tribunals. Okay, Election Commission will appoint election tribunal. So this was the powers and functions of Election Commission. Okay, if you are thorough with this 10 points, if you are writing the introduction about the Election Commission, and if you are writing this 10 points, 10 simple sentences, 10 simple points, you will be able to score full marks here. I hope I'm clear with the Election Commission. Now let us discuss the features of Indian political party system. See, in India, we have many political parties at different levels, at national level, regional level, and sub-regional level. So for the success of the democracy, this political parties, they play a very important role. Okay, so we can classify the political parties as national parties and regional parties. So what happens is political parties, they make promises to the people during the elections in their election manifesto. Okay, they make many promises. They say, if we are coming into power, we will do this, we will do that. Like that, they'll make many promises. So those promises are in their manifesto, election manifesto. And after coming into power, it is their responsibility to fulfill all the promises they have made. They should make efforts to implement all the promises once they come into power. Okay. I hope I'm clear till here. Let us move to the features of Indian political party system. The first thing is we have multi-party system. Okay, we have multi-party system. We have over 6 strong political parties at national level and 53 regional political parties. In every state, you have some regional parties. Okay, and we have 6 national political parties. So, India, we have multi-party system. We have adopted multi-party system. The next is ideological spectrum. Okay, so these political parties, based on their ideologies, they are classified as rightist, okay, leftist, and centrist. It is basically on their ideology. Okay, based on their ideology, the parties are being classified. For example, BJP is rightist, Communist Party is leftist. Okay. And the parties who has the combination of both the rightist and leftist, they are known as centrist parties. They are centrist. So their ideology is the combination. Okay, their ideology is the combination of different ideologies. Okay, then we have cadre-based and non-cadre-based parties. Okay, cadre-based and non-cadre-based parties. So what happens many a times, these political parties, what they do, they will recruit their political workers or party workers only during the time of elections. Only during the time of elections. So that is non-cadre-based parties. Okay. These political workers or party workers, they won't work with the party throughout. They'll work only during the elections, at the time of elections. Then there is no internal democracy. See, what is democracy? We elect our representative. But in political parties, mostly there is no internal democracy. Okay, what happens? All the functionaries, all the leaders from the grassroots level to the top level, they are nominated by the high command of the party. The leaders are not elected among themselves. The high command will nominate the parties from grassroots level to the top level. So there is no internal democracy. In Indian political parties, there is no internal democracy. I hope I'm clear with this. Then next is, there is constant splits and fractionalism. So what is splits? They get separated and they form a new party. Political leaders, they leave the party, they will form a new political party. They get split. So in Indian political parties, they constantly suffer splits among the leaders. Okay. And these conflicts and differences of opinion among the leaders result in the formation of new political party. When there is, friction, when there is split, when there is disagreement among the leaders of a party, they will leave the party and they will form their own political party. So that is another feature of Indian political party system. Next is political coalitions. Coalition means different parties coming together to form the government. Okay, so many political parties, they prefer to form coalition with other parties so that they can come into power. They know that they alone cannot come into power, so they will give support to the party which is strong. So that is coalition. So this coalition can be pre-poll alliance or post-poll alliance. Pre-poll means before the elections are conducted, the parties will come together. Post-poll means after the elections, after the results are declared. Okay, many a times it is, after elections, before the results are declared, they, show interest in joining the parties, coming into alliances. That is political coalitions. The next is charismatic leadership. Okay, charismatic leadership. Many political parties, they depend upon the personality factor of their leader. Like BJP, it is depending on Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Congress party, it has, a strong personality, Sonia Gandhi. Our own party, that is TRS, our state party, now it is BRS, K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Okay, so people, they follow these leaders blindly. They have millions of followers, so which led for the victories of these political parties. Now, if you recently, if you see the elections conducted in Karnataka, okay, Congress party won the elections and the credit was given to Rahul Gandhi. Okay, so like this, the leadership, the personality factor is another feature of our party system in India. I hope this question is clear to all of you. I'll just keep it on the screen for a few seconds. What are the features? We have multi-party system. Then, Then we have ideological spectrum. Then we have non-cadre and cadre-based parties. We have no internal democracy in the political parties. Okay, mostly the political party, it lacks internal democracy. It is the, party high command who decides the leaders at different levels. Then we have constant splits and frictions. Political coalition is another feature. It has become a problem also now. And charismatic leadership. Okay, the personality factor of a leader, which influence the voters. Now, let us move to short answers. Anti-defection laws. What do you mean by anti-defection? Defection means when a political leader is leaving his party and joining some other party. That means he is, cheating with the people who trusted on him. So, to avoid this, anti-defection laws are passed. So, if any member, if he is leaving his party and joining another party on various grounds, then he will be disqualified. Then he will be disqualified. So, anti-defection law, it provides for the disqualification of the members of parliament and the state legislature after getting elected. After getting elected, if they are changing their party, after coming into power, after getting elected, if they are changing their party, then they are betraying the people. They are betraying the trust of the people. So, they can be disqualified as a member of parliament and state legislature. Okay, so this anti-defection law is added in the 10th schedule. 10th schedule of the Constitution. It is added in the 10th, so the 10th schedule of a Constitution, it deals with the anti-defection law. On what basis, on what grounds a member of parliament or a member of state legislature can be disqualified. Okay, so let us see. The first one is disqualification of a member belonging to political parties. An elected member of any political party, he will face disqualification if he joins any other political party. That means after getting elected, okay, after getting elected, for example, I have contested from XYZ party, people have voted for me and I became the member of parliament or state legislature. And after getting elected, I am leaving XYZ party and I am joining ABC party. So I am betraying the people who have trusted me. So I'll be disqualified. So here, when I am leaving the party, after getting elected, I am leaving the party, then I'll be disqualified. Okay. That is one condition. If he is joining some other party. The next is elected member of parliament, he will be disqualified if the member resigns from the party. If, for example, I am the member of XYZ party. After getting elected, after becoming the member of parliament, I am resigning this party. I am leaving the party. Then also I will be disqualified. I will be disqualified as the member of parliament. Then, if I am voting against the whip, whip is the in charge of the political party, particular political party in the parliament. Okay, so if I am going against the whip, if I am going against the whip, against the in charge, if I am voting against it. For example, a bill has to be passed in the parliament, and the in charge of my party, it has decided, he or she has decided that I should vote in the favor of that bill, and I am going against it. I am not voting in the favor of that bill. I am going against the whip. I am going against the decision taken by the in charge. I am voting against the whip. Then I'll be disqualified. Okay. Did you understand? So who is a whip? Whip is the in charge of the political party in the parliament. So see, for every bill to get passed in the parliament, the voting is conducted over that bill. So if I'm voting against the bill, against the whip, if I'm voting against the whip, then I'll be disqualified. Okay. My party in charge asked me to vote in the favor of that bill, and I voted against that bill. I went against the whip. Okay, I went against the decision of the whip, the party in charge. Then I'll be disqualified. Okay, so here there are 3 conditions. Okay, I'll face disqualification if I am joining any other party after getting elected. Okay, and if I am resigning from the party after getting elected, and if I am voting against the whip, then I'll be disqualified as a member of the house. Okay, am I clear with this? Next, disqualification of an independent member and a nominated member. Now, what do you mean by an independent member? Independent member, he does not belong to any political party. Okay, he is contesting the elections on his own. Okay, so independent member can also be disqualified if he is joining any political party, because when he contested for the election, he was independent. He did not, contest from any party. People trusted him and voted for him. After getting elected, he is joining a political party. Again, he is betraying the trust of the people. So, he will be disqualified. After elections, if an independent member joins any party, any political party, then he will be disqualified. Similarly, a nominated member, see, president, he nominates 12 members to Rajya Sabha. 12 members to Rajya Sabha. President has a power to nominate 12 members to Rajya Sabha. Okay, if any member, a nominated member who is nominated by the president, is joining a political party, he has got only 6 months. Within 6 months, he should join a political party. He cannot join any political party after 6 months of nomination. So, if he is joining any party after 6 months, then he will be disqualified. Okay. He will be disqualified. So, these 12 members, they belong to different fields. Okay. From sports, okay, from arts, from various fields. These 12 members, they are nominated by the president to the Rajya Sabha. And these 12 members, if they want to join, they don't belong to any political party. Okay, if they want to join a political party, they have 6 months. Within 6 months, they should join a political party. And they cannot join any political party after that. Okay, after that 6 months, once this 6 months period is gone, they cannot join a political party. Independent members, they cannot join a political party after getting elected. Okay, and nominated members, they cannot join a political party after 6 months of getting nominated. I hope I'm clear with the second point. Now, there are certain exceptions to anti-defection law. There are certain exceptions. If the members of an elected party, if the members of a elected political party, they split from the party. They split. If few members, they are elected, okay, they contested the election, they got elected, they became the member of the legislature, and now they are splitting from the party. They don't want to continue in the same party, or they prefer to merge with another party. Okay, with 2/3 of the strength, the 2/3 members of that party should split and form a new party, or they should merge with some other party. Then this anti-defection law is not applicable. Okay, this anti-defection law is not applicable if 2/3 members of a party, either they are splitting from the party or they want to merge with some other political party. For them, this anti-defection law cannot be applied. And the presiding officer of the house can voluntarily give up the membership of their party. Okay, here the presiding officer, the chairman of Rajya Sabha or the speaker of Lok Sabha, they are the presiding officers. So once they become the presiding officer, once the speaker of Lok Sabha is elected, he can voluntarily give up the membership. He won't get disqualified. Okay, he won't get disqualified if he is voluntarily giving up his membership from the party. Okay, I hope I am clear till here. Then, anti-defection law is not applicable for the expulsions. Expulsions means removing from the party. Okay, if any political party expels or removes the elected member from the membership of the party, then this anti-defection law is not applicable. He has to continue his term as a member of the house. For example, I am a member of ABC party. After getting elected, my party leaders have removed me. I am not leaving the party. I am not leaving the party. The party leaders, the high command is removing me. So I will not lose my membership of the house. Okay, I will continue as a member of Lok Sabha even if I am removed of or I am being expelled from the party. Okay, am I clear with this fourth point? Anti-defection law, it is not applicable for expulsions. Expulsions means if a party high command is removing me from the party, okay, then I will continue as a member of the house and I'll complete my tenure of 5 years. Then, so who has this authority? Who is the authorized deciding authority? The presiding officer of the house, the speaker of the house, the speaker of Lok Sabha, the speaker of state legislative assembly. They are the deciding authority. They will decide regarding the matters of disqualification of the members based on anti-defection law. So the authorized deciding authority is the presiding officer. In case of Rajya Sabha, it is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. In case of Lok Sabha, it is the speaker of Lok Sabha. So why this anti-defection law is made? What was the aim? It aimed to prevent political defections and corruption and to provide political stability. To provide political stability, this anti-defection laws were added to our constitution in 10th schedule. I hope I'm clear with this anti-defection law. This is an important question. Okay, let us move to the next question, that is Model Code of Conduct, MCC, Model Code of Conduct. while explaining you the powers and functions of election commission, I told you about model code of conduct. Model code of conduct is nothing but the guidelines given to the political parties by the election commission during the elections. Okay, the political parties and the candidates, they have to follow certain guidelines. So these guidelines, these instructions are known as model code of conduct. These instructions are known as model code of conduct. So let us see what are the model code of conduct, what are the guidelines. Okay, restriction on the government from laying new projects for the welfare scheme. See, once the election commission declares or announces the election schedule or releases an election schedule, the government cannot start any new project or welfare program. Once the dates of election are declared, the government, the political party which is in power now, they cannot start any new projects or welfare schemes. That is the first guideline. Then they'll also restrict on appointment or recruitment of new employees, new government employees. They should not recruit new employees in the government departments. Okay. Once the election date is declared, no new appointments should be done in the government departments. Now, reasonable restrictions on election campaign. So, during the campaigning also, some restrictions are imposed on the political leaders and parties to ensure that public life is not disturbed. The election campaigns should not disturb the public life. So, did you understand this? First one is restriction on laying new projects. The government cannot start any new project or welfare scheme. Okay, because it may influence the voters. Then again, they should not make any new appointments in the government bodies, government offices, because it will influence the voters. Then some restrictions are to be imposed. Some restrictions are to be imposed for the campaigning, so that the public life should not get disturbed. These are the some of the model code of conduct. These are some of the guidelines issued by the election commission for political parties and political leaders. I hope I am clear with this. Any doubts? See, this is a 5-mark question. You can expect this question for 5 marks. Next, refrain from distribution of liquor. It is observed that political parties, political leaders, to influence people, they distribute liquor. Sometimes they also distribute money also. So this election commission, it has refrained the distribution of liquor. The political parties, they cannot distribute liquor or money. And prevention of ruling party from using its seats of power for campaigning. So the party which is in power, they should not use the seats from which they have already won for campaigning purpose. Okay, they should not use the seats of power for the campaigning. And on the polling day, all the political parties and the candidates should cooperate with the poll officials who are on duty. They should not, display their election symbols near the polling booth, near or around the polling booths on the polling day. Okay. The candidates and the political parties, they should cooperate with the polling officials. They should not display the election symbols on the polling day. They should not, stand near the polling booth also. For the purpose of strict implementation of Model Code of Conduct, the Election Commission will appoint observers. The Election Commission, I told you, it will appoint observers. Now, these observers, they can complain or they can report to the Election Commission. Okay. They can, or even the public can complain to the observers and they can report the same to the Election Commission. I hope I'm clear with this. Next important question is, write briefly about electoral reforms in India. This was the question asked in your previous paper. In March, this question was asked. So let us quickly discuss this question. So, see, if you say India is the largest democratic country in the world, and we face many challenges and shortcomings when it comes to electoral system. It is due to increasing of influence of money power, involvement of criminals, and misuse of the official machinery. Okay, being the largest democracy in the world, we face some problems when it comes to elections. Some of them are like use of money power or influence of money power, criminals conducting elections or contesting in elections. They are actively involved in elections. Then misuse of official machinery. So many committees were established to see how we can overcome this challenge, how we can, come out of these problems. And some committees have suggested certain reforms like criminalization of politics and preventive measures. Okay, so here they say that any person who has a criminal background, okay, who has a criminal background, they should not be allowed to enter into politics. So people with criminal background are directly entering into politics. So some political leaders are maintaining relations with them, with these criminals. Okay, and some of the criminals, they are contesting the elections also. So the criminalization and politics and prevention measure is that you should not give ticket to any such criminal. The political parties should not give ticket to the criminals. Okay. If these criminals are allowed to contest, then it will be a threat to our democracy. So these criminals should not be allowed to contest for the elections. And political parties who are giving ticket to such criminals, their party should get deregistered or de-recognized. Okay, it is said that if criminals are involved, if political leaders, they have relations with the criminals, then if they are giving tickets to such, criminals, then the party should be deregistered or de-recognized. This is one measure, reform was suggested. Then growing money power. It is noticed that large amount of money is spent on campaigning. Large amount of money is spent on campaigning by the candidates during the elections. So Election Commission has taken various steps to cut this money power by limiting the expenditure. I told you this in the beginning. The Election Commission has imposed limit on the expenditure during the elections, and expenditure observers are also appointed. Expenditure observers are also appointed. Then use of caste and religion in election. The Election Commission of India disqualifies the candidate from contesting if he is trying to promote the caste and religion in election. If any political leader who is contesting for the elections, if he is using caste and religious sentiments in his speeches, or if he is trying to promote the caste and religion, then that candidate can be disqualified. The next, another important reform is electoral photo identity cards. Okay, EPIC, electoral photo identity cards. These cards are given to all the registered voters to prevent bogus voting. Okay, this is another reform. Electoral photo identity cards. It was introduced to prevent bogus voting. Okay. Yeah. Next is Election Commission of India has formulated certain guidelines to be followed by political parties during elections. So these guidelines are known as Model Code of Conduct. So if you see the electoral reforms, the Election Commission, it has formulated some guidelines what political parties should do and what they should not do during the elections, and those guidelines are called as Model Code of Conduct. So this is another important question for 5 marks, electoral reforms. Okay, it is an important question. Okay. We are running short of time. We have to discuss very short answers of this chapter. We'll discuss this in the next class and we'll start next chapter. Okay. So I request you again to revise the chapter wise. If you are learning chapter wise, it will be easy for you to